The ceasefire, which Ukraine, of course, has accepted, but Russia raised concerns and set the conditions as we mentioned. National Security Advisor Mike Waltz hinted that Ukraine might have to cede territory and abandon those NATO ambitions. The situation does remain complex, with challenges over territory, security guarantees and NATO membership. Well, joining us to discuss this topic is Dr. Sergei Dvoryanov, who is joining us. Thank you very much, Dr. Dvoryanov, for being here today. I want to really look at this deal and this impasse that we currently find ourselves with. Russia's saying that there have to be some ironclad security guarantees. Ukraine saying yes to the deal. At what point will Russia say they're happy with the concessions that Ukraine want to make and a deal can get done?
Thank you for question. Thank you for invitation. First of all, I want to start with explanation that this week several contacts between the United States and Russia took place on the topic of in the conflict with Ukraine. First of all, a telephone conversation between the heads of the SVR, Russian intelligence service, and the CIA. And then meeting between our national leader, Vladimir Putin, and special representative of Donald Trump, Mr. Witkoff. And the third one is a Trump approach to Putin about spraying mercy to our armed forces in Ukraine. But we know that the reply of our national leader was that they would have to surrender to do so. And because right now you know that unfortunately Vladimir Zelensky did some order. It's not allowed to the Ukrainian soldiers to surrender to Russian army, to be surrendered. Regarding position of Russian Federation, first of all, we understand right now that on ground we are very successfully doing to complete our historical mission, to remove all Nazi fascism movement inside Ukraine. And everybody understands we cannot ignore and refuse these historical facts that Vladimir Zelensky was a special political project. He is not independent politician. First of all, he was not politician at all. He was comedian. Is a fact or no? Yes, it's a fact. He promised to his nation bring peace. Is a fact or not? Is a fact. He bring war to his nation. Is a fact or no? Yes, is a fact. He destroyed his country. That is a fact. That's why, of course, obviously, even Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin, both of them, they understand clearly that he should be changed for somebody responsible politicians. That is the main question. Who put a signature on agreement, peacemaking agreement. That's why we're looking forward. A lot of experts from Western countries they comment the situation that Russia tried to buy time, that Russia tried to cheat. But you know this very well that Russia never cheats the Western countries. Our national leader was always clear. Always clear. Unfortunately, we were cheating a lot of times by Minsk agreements and many other actions. In this time, we should achieve real, permanent, and very peace, which will be based on ethic principles.
Yes, Dr. Dvoryanov, Vladimir Zelensky says that Putin wants to get a stronger footing in the war before agreeing to a peace deal because it will mean that Ukraine will need to make more concessions. Do you think there's a risk that Trump loses patience with this? The deal has been presented for several days now, over a week, and the Ukrainian government have said yes to it as well. So at what point does Trump turn around and say you need to sign this, or there needs to be further conversations about how we get to a resolution?
Yes, it's not a question regarding the patience of Donald Trump. It's regarding wisdom of both leaders, Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump, because both of them, they have intention to do peace. Intention is most important. And after intention, we can see the actions together. But right now, both of politicians, they completely understand that Donald Trump is an opposition inside country, which is a Democratic Party. All media, most of media belongs to Democratic Party, right? Oh, no, of course, right. And the second big challenger is ignorance of European politicians. They completely don't understand that dramatic point of the current historical situation. I can really compare sincerely Donald Trump with John Kennedy. Because of John Kennedy, we did not came to the global war. Because during his conversation with Nikita Khrushchev, John Kennedy, he knows that our submarine was near America. Nikita Khrushchev, yes, Mr. General Secretary of Communist Party of USSR, I trust you, you're responsible leader of your country. Yes, please, we should make peace. And that after that Caribbean crisis, it was a real peacemaking dialogue between America and Russia. Donald Trump on the same level right now in some historical global challenges. He is doing a lot to bring peace, real peace. That's why we should remove this ignorance of European politicians. They should understand this very dramatic point. Same game like Donald Trump told us today with this third wall. It's like you're not such kind of level of politician. You're just a puppet of the ignorance politicians of Europe. That is my opinion.
Yes, Dr. Sergei Voryanov, thank you very much, as always, for your time. It is important to mention Donald Trump has recently said that he will, of course, be having discussions with Putin, and we know now that they will be taking place on Tuesday, and we will be there, of course, to give you all of the updates on those conversations and everything else we get from